Washington Capitals 5, Edmonton Oilers 4. Welcome back to the day after reaction. Myself, Waz, my friend Dan. Dan, that game, how would you describe it to those who didn't watch?
Frustrating. We talked about it in an earlier take.
Mm-hmm.
Really a frustrating game to watch. Frustrating for this team to seemingly regress back to the effort and the way that they started games early in this season. Early in the season, of course, they were able to come back from a lot of those misgivings and overcome that. They weren't able to last night. When you give up as many power plays as the Oilers did, and you don't get the power plays yourself, you have to be able to kill those penalties. The Oilers did not do that, and
Yeah.
they were victimized 4 times on the power play.
Let's quickly get to our takeaways here. What was your first takeaway for that game?
Well, my first takeaway is that Connor McDavid is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The big dogs did come out last night and did put in the effort that was necessary to hopefully be able to come back and win that game. This team really felt like it wasn't supposed to be where it was. That score of 5-4, not really indicative of how this team played the game last night. So Connor McDavid, pretty good. The rest of the team let him down.
I've got a takeaway, and it's on the other side of the ice. I noticed that Alex Ovechkin is still very good, even at his age, because he was just giving the Oilers blue line so many issues, especially a young Evan Bouchard, a young Stuart Skinner. You know, they're facing a man that they were watching when they were kids, and he's just taking them to work. So a masterclass from Alexander Ovechkin there. Let's get to the second takeaway.
Well, and I'll just add to that too before I get into my second
Mm-hmm.
takeaway that, as soon as you saw that goal taken away from Sonny Milano and the way that he scored that or he
Yeah, yeah.
shot that puck, you knew that the Washington Capitals were coming out firing. And Alex Ovechkin, of course, doesn't need anybody else to come
Mm-hmm.
out firing, but that whole team was ripping shots. And how many crossbars and posts did we have in the first 2 periods? So yeah, I mean, you're right. It was Ovechkin was awake, and that should have woke up the Oilers. To get into
Mm-hmm.
my second point, it has to just be that low effort start by the Edmonton Oilers. It's I know that's easy for me to say sitting in a computer chair that it's a low effort, but we've seen this team against the Pittsburghs, the Carolinas, the Chicagos, and the Nashvilles of the world come out and absolutely dominate those teams, stay in front of them, never play from behind. But this team that in these last few games, and especially last night against the Washington Capitals, low effort starts, and they are paying for it and having to play from
Mm-hmm.
behind for the rest of the way.
My second takeaway is that prior to puck drop, this was the Edmonton Oilers game to win. They should have won this game simply because the Washington Capitals had a lot of injuries. I didn't see the full list, but there was a lot of injuries on this Capitals team where the Oilers should have taken advantage and won this game. When you have a beat up team like that, just go out and win. You know, it's simple as that. And unfortunately, like you said, the Oilers didn't bring out their best effort, especially from the start. And the Capitals took advantage of some brutal turnovers. You know, Warren Fogle. But yeah, for me, it's just this was a game the Oilers should have won. Let's get to your third takeaway.
Yeah, it's a great point, and was I think the last takeaway, and again, I am not a person that's trying to excuse the effort,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's just a reality, and it's something that we have to talk about. It's that the refs did the Oilers no favors. The Capitals were 6 and 7 power plays ahead of the Oilers by the end of the night, and to me, that's just unacceptable. And for a team that is struggling on the penalty kill, the struggles did continue for the Edmonton Oilers, and our power play, when it was given its one opportunity, was unable to strike. Was able to strike,
Mm-hmm.
and so I mean, that's again, it's not an excuse. It's just
Yes.
a takeaway. The referees did the Oilers no favors last night.
And that's fine. I do agree with you, but for my third takeaway, I'll just say the penalty kill simply has to be better. I think you can't really blame a single individual in a loss like this. It comes down to a team effort. It was a team loss, like Jay Woodcroft's been preaching all year. I don't like pinning an individual, blaming. You know, I don't want to blame Stuart Skinner. I don't want to blame Darnell Nurse. Honestly, it was a team loss. The penalty kill needs to be better. If you want to be a cup contending team, you got to kill penalties. And the Oilers simply just can't do that right now. What they gave up 4 power play goals? You can't be doing that.
Yeah, it's not a recipe for success. You're definitely not going to win many hockey games if you're already down by 4 goals before you even talk
Yeah.
about putting your own goals up on the board. 100% was. You nailed it. The referees did no favors, but the Oilers have to be the ones that answer for those
Mm-hmm.
penalty kills, and
Yeah,
they
fair enough.
don't have it right now.
Yeah, and I think my final thoughts is that I think I'll go back to your first takeaways. Like Connor McDavid's still very good, playing his 500th NHL game, and he scores an incredible goal. Credit to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman for putting in a great effort as well for trying to keep the team in the game. Where I find that top six right now for the Oilers is working, but the bottom six, Warren Fogle, Yamamoto, I don't want to put too much blame on Jesse Puljujarvi because he is what he is right now. But there are some passengers on this team that need to wake up.
The whole team just needs to be better.
Exactly,
That's how you win a game. Is if
I sounded pretty hypocritical there. I was like, oh, I don't like to blame individuals, and I bring in individuals. But yes,
hey,
you know what?
You're a fan of this team. You know all the guys on the team. We all know. I think that there's there's been enough chatter around that we know where people are at right now in this season, and everybody just needs to be that little bit better, except for maybe Connor McDavid. I don't know if he can get any better.
Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Will they snap the 3-game losing streak? We'll find out. We'll be back with the day after reaction tomorrow reviewing that game. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Head to OilersNation.com for more in-depth analysis. And shout out Derek Ryan.